start.
We have the Constitution adopted in 1978. Thereafter, the Constitution has been amended recently by the 20th Amendment. So here I am going to say what the constitutional provisions provide for removal of the government or the removal of the Prime Minister and the President. So when it comes to the Prime Minister and the Cabinet, if no confidence motion is passed in Parliament, so when it comes to the no confidence motion, it could be passed with simple majority. If it is passed with simple majority, then the Prime Minister will get vacated and also automatically the Cabinet also will get dissolved. Thereafter, the President can appoint a new person as the Prime Minister and also the ministers and all, and the Cabinet and the non-Cabinet ministers and all. So when it comes to the no confidence motion against the government, so what will happen is at the end, the Prime Minister will get vacated and also the Cabinet will be dissolved. Thereafter, new government will be established by the President. So President can appoint the new Prime Minister and the new members to the Cabinet. But when it comes to the removal of the President, it is a little difficult procedure, because the reason is President can resign on his own. Otherwise, when it comes to the removal of the President, the members of Parliament, so when it comes to the members of Parliament, 2/3 members, including the members who are absent in Parliament. So that means total, out of the total members, the 2/3 members will have to sign a document, the resolution, and give it to the Speaker. Thereafter, the Speaker will place it before Parliament and it has to be passed with 2/3 majority. And also the resolution will have to say, so the President is incapable to continue to be the President, or otherwise the President has intentionally violated the constitutional provisions or provisions of any other law, or the President has committed corruption, or he is guilty for bribery, or any other misconduct should be stated in the resolution. So that resolution should be passed in Parliament with 2/3. Thereafter, if it is passed, then thereafter the Speaker will refer it to the Supreme Court. Thereafter, the Supreme Court will have to make a decision on the allegation whether it is proved or not. If the Supreme Court makes the decision that the allegation has been proved, then again the Speaker will have to bring it before Parliament. Again it has to be passed with 2/3 majority. So which is very, very difficult. So what is possible is to pass the no confidence motion against the government and remove the Prime Minister. And also when the no confidence motion is passed, automatically the President gets removed and the Cabinet members and all get removed. But now the people are talking about the interim government. So when it comes to the interim government, it is also possible, but in that case, the Prime Minister should be removed by the no confidence motion, or even after the 20th Amendment, the President has the power to remove the Prime Minister. So the President can remove the Prime Minister. If the President removes the Prime Minister or the no confidence motion is passed, then thereafter the Prime Minister will go and the Cabinet also will not be there. So thereafter, all parties can get together and make the suggestion to the President. If the President wishes, then can get the members from all parties and go for an interim government. But the problem here is whether the people and also the parliamentarians prefer to go for interim government, or because the demand is to remove the President and the Prime Minister. So we have to wait for another few days or few weeks to see what will be the next move.
If a Prime Minister removed by no confidence motion, President can appoint him again.
It is possible, but only thing is, when it comes to the appointment of the Prime Minister, when it comes to the new Prime Minister, the President will have to appoint a person who could command the confidence of Parliament. So that means if the new person does not have the support in Parliament, then the President can't appoint the same person as the Prime Minister again.
No confidence motion needs 2/3 majority.
No need. So when it comes to the no confidence motion against the government, it could be passed with simple majority. But when it comes to impeachment against the President, that needs 2/3.
If any after pass the no confidence motion, the situation came never can prove the majority in Parliament. Hereafter, how will country can take over in Parliament or Cabinet?
No, actually, if no party is having support in Parliament, the problem will be there will be a crisis situation, because even the President also can't dissolve Parliament, because the President can dissolve Parliament after the first, the 2.5 years passed from the first meeting of parliament. So now when it comes to the parliamentary election, it was held in August 2020. So the 2.5 years have not gone. So now the president can dissolve parliament. Otherwise, in the parliamentarians, with simple majority, will have to pass a resolution and ask the president to dissolve parliament. That also will never happen. The parliamentarians are not willing to dissolve parliament because they want to be there for the remaining period. So that is also not possible. So what is possible is all parties will have to come together and form an interim government. But that will solve the problem to some extent. But here the problem is to not only to remove the prime minister, even to remove the president. So then otherwise the situation may develop that will force both of them to resign. But again the problem will be if the president resigns, right, then what is next? Then if the president resigns, there is a provision in the constitution. If the president resigns, then parliament can elect one member from parliament as the president, and that person can continue the office of the president for the remaining period of the previous president. So by doing that, the parliament can elect a person to be in the office of president for the remaining period. Even that also will not solve the problem because that person will have the executive powers again. That person will have the executive powers. But then the next issue is whether the amendment should be brought to the constitution, whether the constitution should be amended to abolish the executive presidency. Even for that also, you need 2/3 in parliament, which is very, very difficult. Sometimes the Supreme Court may decide you have to go for referendum also. But I would say the referendum is much easier because most of the people are willing to abolish the presidential system now. But getting 2/3 in parliament to amend the constitution may be very difficult. So now we are really in a constitutional crisis situation in the country.
In this situation, parliament can create a minority government.
So, but the minority government anyway, whatever the government comes, which it should have the majority, or it should be able to. Otherwise, it will be it will create a very complex situation in parliament, and also then they can't pass any amendment or any law, or even again and again the no confidence motions will come. Even the budget and all they can't pass. So then it will be a crisis situation.
Thank you.
Okay, right. Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. So.